Hi, this is Rose. And before we begin, have you charged like a bull?
Meet Rose Odette, tech trailblazer, EMR pioneer, and $100 million founder. Her book, Charge Like a Bull, unveils 7 strategies to scale without investors, crush your limits, dominate emerging markets, forge unstoppable alliances. Ready to break through? Get your copy on Amazon now.
Hey, grab your copy of Charge Like a Bull and Charge Like a Bull game plan book. You don't need book 1 to get the game plan book. Skip that 450 pages if you want to get right to work like I usually do. They'll both be out on Amazon waiting for you, and you'll find the link in the show notes. And a sneak peek, if you're more into Audible books, the Audible book will be ready at the end of June of 2025, and I've already listened to the first 30 minutes, and it's amazing. I did not narrate it. I hired a professional actor to narrate it, and thank God I did. Anyway, see you in the podcast. Welcome back to Bullish on Business, and today I'm thrilled to have the powerhouse behind Embry Company. You know, that company down in Big Rapids that is an aesthetics company. Well, it's Tiffany Lattimore. How you doing?
Hi.
She is a woman behind the science, the beauty, and the badassery, if I may say, into this thriving aesthetics business. Well, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Rose. It is great to be here.
I am so happy to have you with me. I've been wanting this for a very long time.
We've been waiting. We've been talking about this, and we're finally here.
And we're doing it.
Yeah.
It's awesome. 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 Well, you and I met recently, and I had the pleasure of sharing with you my book, Charge Like a Bull.
Yes.
And
Signed copy.
yeah,
First student.
you are my first student. And I thought to myself, this woman is already charging. She probably doesn't even need it because she's already zooming.
We've already known each other, and you've already inspired me.
We've really been having fun for at least 2 years.
At least.
We've been working
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
So, and I'm one of her clients as well. And I must say, she does a great job.
She's a star. She's a star.
Well, what we're going to do today, like we do on the Bullish podcast, is we're going to dig deep into the side of business and really the real life. You know, we've got the beauty, the business, and the legacy. And that is part of the name of your company. Why don't we start with that?
Yeah.
So tell us about that.
So my business, Embry Co, is named after my 2 daughters, Bryn and Emery. So it's both of their names meshed together. And, you know, when you start a business, you want to have your why. You want to have a very clear direction, because once you get started in business, there's so many distractions and there's so many different things that you can do with your business. And them being my why and making sure I'm intentional with my time, that everything that we do leads to us having a balanced family life, is what the name comes from. So it's very special to me. And the more people learn that that's where that name stems from, the more special it is. And then when they get to meet them in person, you know, if they're at the spa, it's a really special moment too.
It really was. I got to meet them, and they're such sweethearts. They are so gracious,
They really
and they're so careful
Mhm.
around your clients.
Oh, very much so.
They're just such good. They're so
They're
good.
very well behaved, and
Very.
they're very respectful, and they understand that even though they're at the business that we created, they still have to be respectful, which makes me so happy that they have that kind of respect.
And you have such a great environment there for everyone.
We are very proud of the environment that we created in both our Big Rapids and Fremont spaces, because it kind of transforms you, right?
Mhm.
Not just with the treatments that you're having done, but when you walk into our space, you feel like you're somewhere else.
You do.
And you just don't feel like you're in Big Rapids. And that was one of the scary things about, you know, when we started the business. I was working full-time in family medicine. We didn't really know how an aesthetics practice would work in a rural community.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you go an hour away and, you know, there's such saturation of med spas everywhere, and a lot of competition that way. In this area, there wasn't a lot of that. And that was a real reason why we started, inside of another business. I had been working full-time in family medicine. I was doing this on the side. So after I'd work a full day, I would come and inject at night. On the weekends, it was really subtracting a lot from family life. And we just kind of outgrew that really quickly. It was nice because I didn't have the resources to have a full storefront initially, with not being full-time in that, in aesthetic medicine. But then it really became helpful in, collaborating with the business owner at the space that we started at. In our Fremont location, we're inside of another space, and it's nice to collaborate with those business owners, and they're all females and female entrepreneurs. So it's really rewarding, even though they're still in the beauty industry. We have that medical component, and they love free medical advice.
Absolutely.
So it really works out well, just to kind of build a tribe and to collaborate with people. And when we started our own storefront in Big Rapids, that was really just the moment that we grew so much when we didn't even know if it was possible, that we just had to finally get our own space. We just outgrew so quickly.
It's really, really breathtaking. I love it. But like you said, you actually started in medicine. So you did cardiology, you were a hospitalist,
Yep.
family medicine. So what was that moment while you were doing the medical work that really triggered you to think you really want to move into aesthetics?
Yeah. So it all seems so indirect to get to where you're at. It's like, how, if I knew then I would end up here, would that have changed anything? But really, everything led to something else. Starting out in cardiology, I'm very passionate about that still, but ultimately everything led me to realize that I'm very procedure based. I love doing things with my hands, but I also love to use my mind. And so aesthetic medicine has allowed me to really not only do a practice that I'm really passionate about, but also to do it on my own terms with owning my own business instead of working for a big brother. Because I worked corporate medicine for a lot of years.
Yes.
And being out of my own, scary, yes, but also rewarding in the highest sense.
Awesome. Yeah, that's so inspiring.
Yeah.
So do you remember the first like hell yes moment?
Vividly.
When you were like, this is no more just a side idea, this is a real McCoy?
Absolutely. So it was actually a year ago. So our pharmaceutical companies, they have trainings at what they call their headquarters, like their main hub. And it was a year ago in July that I went to the first training for one of our pharmaceutical companies in Nashville. And it's kind of cool because we went full circle. This year I took our whole team. Last year I, went myself. And the really neat thing was I traveled by myself at the time. It was kind of a last minute, training to jump in on. And I got to the hotel room, flew there all by myself. And I just opened the curtains in the hotel and I saw this beautiful city. It was dark, and like knowing what I was going to do the following day, the people I would meet, and the kind of networking I could do, I just looked out the window and thought, gosh, I made it. Like, I just had this overwhelming
I'm getting the chills.
it was so cool. And I just sobbed. I felt like that was my moment. That was it.
Oh, that's amazing. I
Yeah.
love that story. I've never heard
Yeah.
that story before. That is awesome.
Yeah, and it makes it so special to go back and to share that same place with our team and, our spouses and hopefully someday our children.
Yeah. So you took your spouses too this time?
Yes.
Oh, that's
Yes.
cool.
The whole crew.
The whole crew.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That's in Nashville, right?
In Nashville.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Downtown.
That's so cool. I love it down there.
It's so beautiful.
It's so fun. It's
So much to do.
it's so Americana.
It is.
I love
It really
that.
is. You can be whoever you want to be there.
Well, let's shift into leadership a little bit.
Sure.
So you have two locations now,
Yes.
one in Big Rapids, one in Fremont, Michigan.
Yes.
And really, what made you feel the oomph to do something that, because to branch out to two locations, that probably wasn't an easy decision.
No. I look back on that and I'm like, how did I have that energy? I don't know where that came from. I was already familiar with Fremont. When I worked as a hospitalist, I'd cover shifts there. So I was already familiar with the town, and it's about 45 minutes from Big Rapids. So when looking at our service area and the clients that we were seeing, there was a whole like west side of the state that we were missing out on. People will travel from Mount Pleasant, people will travel from Grand Rapids, they'll travel from Cadillac, but they weren't traveling from the west. So it's like, how do we capture that whole area
Right.
and really go for it? I was also familiar with Fremont too, because my husband, he works in the area as well.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a second home for us
Okay.
in the area. And the patients that we get in our Fremont location, just like our Big Rapids location, are very loyal. You know, they're very dedicated to the regimens that we propose. It's funny how like the locations are not that far away, but people can be so entirely different. And I just feel like Fremont is a hidden gem.
It really
Most
is.
people do not know
I agree.
about it. And our Big Rapids location, like I love our community. I was raised in the Big Rapids community. We're raising our family in Big Rapids. I went to Ferris State University. I mean, I went to PA school in Central. I'm very local, and to be able to bring something back to our area is so special to me.
It really is.
Yeah.
And I do agree with you. I really love Fremont.
Yes.
It is such a gem.
It
Such a
really
pretty
is. Yeah.
little safe place.
Yeah.
So let's talk about breakthroughs
Okay.
and your breakthrough value prop, because you definitely have one. And when you think about your product line, I know you've expanded it. So how would you describe your philosophy around aesthetics?
I think of aesthetics as every treatment that we do has to turn a result in an efficient way, in an affordable way, and in a way that somebody looks in the mirror and sees something different, but not so different that they don't recognize themselves. So we kind of joke on our team, and we say that every treatment that we do, every product that we use, we always use before we recommend, right?
Okay.
So it has to be something that adds value to us in order to be able to recommend it. You'll
That's
notice
great.
if we don't believe in something, it is impossible to sell to somebody else,
Mhm.
which I like to know before we invest in something
Sure,
like that.
sure.
So we really feel strongly, you know, embrace your best self unapologetically, but also if we're going to recommend something, we know what it does, we know how you'll react to it, we know what the result will be, and we know that it's something that you like.
And as a customer, I can attest to that. I always feel like I'm a part of the team and that I'm the final decision maker.
Yes.
But you are guiding me. You guys, not just you, your whole team.
Yep. They are awesome.
Great group. So when you bring clinical precision to really an art that you're doing, how did that evolve? How did you evolve the art of aesthetics into medicine, and you do it so seamlessly?
It's never done. I'm not done doing. It feels like an evolution of things that come along. And just like with medicine, you know, everything is going to continue to change. There's new treatments, there's new ways to do that same treatment in a better way, a safer way. And so always being open to learning and listening to other providers and even our team. Our team brings up great ideas and great points in how, you know, to do things better. And so we're always trying to level up that treatment. So, you know, it's comfortable for the patient, that we're making sure that we're giving a great result, and we're just never done learning. So when it comes to how I injected 3 years ago compared to how I inject today, entirely different products because things change. And even, you know, like having a philosophy of multimodalities to get you know, the right appearance or the right result of what we're looking for, that's even changed, to be able to offer services that are comprehensive but not overwhelming. All of that really goes into how we make that all work.
And it takes time to speak and spend time with each individual, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
You have to spend
Absolutely.
quality time with each of your customers.
Yes.
Or patients at times.
Yeah, absolutely.
What exactly is your degree in?
So I am a PA, physician assistant or physician associate. Most states are transitioning from assistant
To associate.
Yes.
That's so impressive.
Yeah.
That's so amazing. So, how did you decide the treatments to offer and to target? How did you pick them?
So the first treatment that I learned to do was Botox injections. And then as I went along, I kind of mastered that to a point where I felt comfortable and I was giving, you know, great results. Then I transitioned to filler. Everything has been very strategic. Master this, then move on to this, then move on to this. I always sit down and kind of make like, 6-month goals, 1-year goals, 5-year goals to decide like where things are going, what I want. There are things that I've opted to not learn because I know what other, what clients are saying about either the result or how uncomfortable it is, or would they do it again? So it's just as much listening to our patients as it is me saying, I'm interested in this, or this is what that product or service is going to offer for the patient.
When you work with a new client, are there a lot of people that are brand new to the whole idea of injections, and how do you help them become more comfortable?
I would say probably 75% of the people that sit in our chair have probably never had treatment before. In our Big Rapids location, particularly in Fremont, there have been more people that have had treatments previously, and that's not either good or bad. It's almost like retraining at that point, though, where either they had an experience that they didn't like, or maybe they didn't feel comfortable, or they're hesitant to do it because of this, that, or the other, and kind of teaching them to trust it because of X, Y, and Z. So that can be difficult, but then you have completely treatment naive patients that you have to teach them everything,
Right.
which can be fun, but also it is overwhelming when it's your first time sitting in
Sure.
a chair learning about everything.
Right.
But, we spend a lot of time in our consultations educating, coming up with a treatment plan, kind of a Santa's wish list for everything to address the things that are most concerning to the patient sitting in the chair. And then it's just deciding what way to go about things in the sense that, makes most sense to give the best result most efficiently, and then also, following the budget that the patient sets aside.
Right. It's very, very cool. Well, you've built in these towns that are not luxury hubs, right?
Yeah.
But you're bringing a service that we all need. And so have you turned that into an advantage? How do you see yourself? I know you go to Nashville and you probably see people from LA, Chicago,
Yeah.
all these types, and then you represent more of a rural community.
I feel really lucky in that. I really do, because when people come from inner cities, they're so saturated with med spas, and injectors are so competitive, and it seems, that competition is good and healthy, but somebody's always trying to undercut somebody else.
Right.
And yes, I'm not saying we don't have competition. We do. But I feel like in our area, we can just kind of keep our head down and keep moving forward.
Right.
It's not as I just don't feel like we have as much of that cutthroat competition. We can just focus on our craft and keep moving forward.
Fantastic. And I think that personally, I think that rural communities really are more interested in seeing their own community have new and different offerings, and they want to support you.
Yes.
Because it's always good to see, our small town now has a spa, a med spa, or our small town now has a Starbucks, or whatever. It makes the residents feel a part of the bigger scheme of things.
Absolutely.
I know, because I live in a small town too.
Yes. Yeah.
So tell me about the transformation that stayed with you, not just physically, emotionally, when you're like moving through this. How do you keep your mojo going? How do you keep your incentives, and how do you keep that inner drive going? Maybe going back to your why.
Yeah, I think that keeps me grounded. I think that one of the main people that really keeps me focused is my husband. He's very business minded. He's very intelligent with people. And sometimes I get really bogged down in, should I have done this? Would I have done this differently? What's my next move? Is that realistic? How do I manage the people that we have on our staff? How do we do this? And so it's almost like he's also a business owner too. And he has a farm. It's a whole thing. So we're just wired this way, I think.
Right.
A little bit.
What a good match.
Yeah. But I can just kind of sit down with him and be like, hey, Seth, like, what do you think about this? Like, this is what happened. This is what I'm thinking. Is this totally wrong? Am I losing my mind? Like, where do I go from here?
Oh, fantastic.
And he's a really great sounding board, but he always has good insight. And it's a really, he's very skilled in that. He's very
You're very lucky.
Yes.
Because to have that type of support. So when you have a very results-driven business, you like to see your clients really have the effect that they're looking for? And how do they respond to, tell me a story about how maybe one of your clients responded to, because you do make a big transformation in some folks. Can you think of anybody, or of course you wouldn't want to say their name, but any transformation? I know that we have one here that's really excited about the transformation, and he's a guy.
Yes. And the thing about it is, it never gets old to have somebody pick up the mirror after you did a treatment on them and see the joy that they have in their face, and then the tears fall.
Oh,
And then it's just like,
that's it.
yes.
It's so cool.
Where they finally recognize themselves again. It's there's just nothing like it.
So I know that Ipe, my son-in-law, he really is, he's just having the microdermabrasion type microneedling, and it's really helping him because he had pockets and pocks, like a little area
scarring
from acne, and now he's just glowing.
He really is.
I just love
really
it. I
is.
love seeing, especially a family member going through it. He's just really loving it.
And things like that, you know, acne scarring, it used to be, oh, there's nothing you can do about it. You know, there's so many things that can be improved. You know, and it might not be 100% perfect, right? Some people have acne scars that are so deep that no matter what you do, there will be some, but if you can improve it, that is also of high value too.
It definitely is, and it really is adding so much value, and it makes you feel so good inside when you can look in the mirror. I know that from a sales perspective and you've gone from you offer memberships and you offer people to pay one at a time. Like, how did you come to that decision to do the membership concept?
That was something that the med spa industry really learned during the pandemic, because really the only med spas that made it through were the ones that had the ability to have recurring revenue without having to have somebody in their treatment chair. And so it was something that I wasn't always a fan of initially. And the more I thought about it in the big scheme of things and how much value can add to patients in being able to do their treatments and stick with their treatment plan, but also the stability that it's added to our business, it's really what allowed us to go from let's month to month see how this is going to, okay, now we can start building. Now we can start planning. Now we can really go to the next level.
Awesome.
So that really changed how our business functioned and how we were able to just push the gas.
Absolutely. And it helps smooth out that whole revenue flow. I think that's so intelligent. So a board certified anesthesiologist, that is a mouthful, but it is very, very, what did that do for your brand? Bringing in a board certified anesthesiologist.
So Dr. Jeremy Way, he's actually a buddy of mine. We went to school together at Ferris, pre-med. And so we've remained friends throughout the years. And when I wanted to start this, so as a PA, you have to have like a collaborating physician. You have to have a physician work with you. And so I just am like, hey, I want to do this. Like, you want to do this together? He's like, yeah, let's go for it. So
fantastic.
So that has really, it's required, and it's also a safety check too, because you know, anyone practicing independently to have that checks and balances.
Absolutely.
And then that person that you can call if you have a complication. I mean, it's everything.
You know, Tiffany is so down to earth. I almost forget of her medical credentials because she's so easy to talk to and she's so hands-on. And I often go, oh, that's right. She's got this, because she does not have, you do not have that doctor kind of persona that's sometimes intimidating to common people. And I just really appreciate that. I really do.
We just have to have fun.
Yeah.
Why not?
And we do. You know, if you walk into her med spa, everyone's laughing. Everybody's greeting you with a hug. And I know that's you, but it's also our beautiful region of the world.
It is.
You know, Michigan is always full of such warmth. And let's talk about your partnership with some of the, like you're in another facility over in Fremont. You
Yep.
started out with partnering, and I think that's like step number 4 in my book is strategic alliances and
Yes.
really leveraging the different partners that you partner with other people. It's a win-win situation. And so when you do that, how do you choose your partners?
Sometimes they choose you,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I mean, you plan and plan and plan, and there's only so much planning, and sometimes things just fall into place, and sometimes opportunities arise that it's just like I can't say no to that.
Hmm.
It just makes sense.
Right.
And we have several things in the works right now, particularly that pushes our staff forward in their skill set. So many different collaborations that are kind of in the works that I'm really, really excited for you to learn about. I can't say too much about them right now, but it's all kind of an evolution as to like where we're going. We have a big footprint in our, in our services and our geographic footprint, but also like our digital footprint has to expand.
Mm.
You taught me
Keep
this.
that
Yeah.
in mind.
Yeah.
Keep that in mind.
Just you wait.
Gotta watch that space, and it's the digital space, it sounds like, that we're gonna be watching.
Uh-huh.
Wow. If I gave you $100,000 to put into your business, where would you put it?
So the laser company wants to say a laser, right? They all think you need a laser.
Right.
And it's not to say that I would never have one, but that is not it right now. I really want to increase our online presence.
Okay.
That's what I would do with that.
Awesome.
We have patients from across the US right now. We treat, especially medical weight loss is one of those things that we can prescribe directly to a patient, send it to them. So we see people via telehealth. But a lot of our services you have to be in person for. And so I know our culture, our brand, it's something that I want to share with the entire world. And right now we're missing it. So
I love that ambition. That's so ambitious.
I'm so excited about it.
Oh,
I
that
just
is
want to
fantastic.
take a culture that we've created and just share it with everyone because Skylar, Jessica, and I, we've all sat down and we're like, we've all been in that moment where it's like we fit in that room, but we're in the wrong room. We've opened the door, closed it, opened the door, closed it. Where do I fit in? I know other people feel that way, and I want them to understand our culture, be a part of our culture, even if they can't geographically be with us.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's coming.
Oh, it's coming. I feel it. I feel it's coming. So you mentioned your colleagues who I do know and I love so much. Let's talk a little bit about your colleagues. Let's talk about Jessica for a second.
Yes.
And what she's got going on.
Oh, Jessica. So Jessica does all of our marketing. She's our marketing guru. And she is a photographer. She was a photographer way before she was Embry Co.
Mm-hmm.
And she is now doing the professional headshots in our space. And then she also does consultations and she knows our skincare too. So that's a really interesting thing about all of us. So all three, well, we have four.
Four.
Our Monroe.
Oh, Monroe. And I was going to talk about Monroe.
Yes.
But let's keep going.
Yeah. So Jessica, she had already a skill set of, a lot of digital marketing, photography. And so she just elevates the space in just really telling our brand story.
Yes, I see that.
Really reflecting this space into what you see on Instagram and on Facebook and on our website. So I think that's something so special. She has such a warm personality. She just makes you feel so welcome.
Yes, this is
It's something so special about her. And then Skylar, she is our esthetician. She has, I say this kind of jokingly, but I'm actually serious. She has magic hands.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible.
She's
the
amazing.
things that she can do with her hands and, the techniques that she does and, the results that she
and she has a background in healthcare administration.
does.
So she has that whole healthcare background as well.
Yep. We worked in the hospital together. We worked in the family medicine office together. She worked referrals. And so I would refer patients to her, and then we both kind of transitioned out of corporate medicine and and entered this
What a
space together.
great team.
I know.
And then Monroe, tell us about
Oh,
your
Monroe.
fourth employee.
We just gave her a last name yesterday.
What's
So
her name?
Monroe Sinclair is her full name, but she is a digital AI assistant.
Mhm.
And so she is available. She responds to our emails, our text inquiries, our online web chat. She is our
7x24.
yeah.
7x24, right?
Yeah. She's
Always there.
available all the time. She takes no
Always.
time off for the holidays.
No, and
So on
she's
Christmas she will respond.
unbelievable.
Yeah. She's a worker.
Well, I really appreciate it because sometimes you have a question in the middle of the night or you want to know what's going on, and I was surprised the first time I called
Yeah.
because it got picked right up, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is Monroe.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you guys are really embracing technology.
If we weren't gonna do it, competition would.
Yeah,
And then we'd be out.
did it. You
So we
did it.
just took the plunge.
So what are one of the things you learned from moving into the CEO spot that was a surprise to you from being a clinician to a CEO of your own enterprise?
There's so much on the back end that you don't really realize and how much it makes things just go. And then once those processes are either handled or automated, then it's easier to move forward. And so as we built our team, as we, added on locations, I learned pretty quickly that I can't do everything,
Right.
right? Delegation is one of the hardest things
Is it?
as an entrepreneur to be able to do. Like, if somebody else can do the same thing, then somebody else needs to do this thing.
Right.
And then also knowing where you're strong and where you're weak. Like, I'm a weak scheduler. Don't let me schedule anything because I'll mess it up. It's weird. My brain just does not work that way. So I know that. I don't touch it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. There's other things that I'm very strong in, and then I do those things.
Do those things, right. Well, I think that you cut yourself a little bit. You need to cut yourself some slack because I think that you delegate amazingly because the team that you've got and the account, your team, I've noticed, because I've been there a lot, they take ownership. This is not a job for them. They feel so you do more than delegate because they are very, very, they have that gravitas of owning what they do.
They do.
They really
do.
do.
They are very committed. They are very forward thinking in how they want things to look and feel. And they also know that they want to keep the culture that we've created too. And so in order to do that, we have to keep that moving forward. And they're both very mature and, they have learned through their experiences what they want our experience to feel like. So that is so awesome. And it feels like it's so incredible to have a team that is like-minded.
Yeah.
It's very neat.
So let's talk about advisors. You've got your husband, you've got your staff, you've got the co-founder doctor.
Yes.
And do you lean on any other people for your, like an advisory board?
All the time. All the time. What I love is quiet luxury. So when somebody's sitting in my chair maybe 5 times and on the 6th time, they're like, oh, by the way, I own 7 different stores in 8 different, or like however many states, right? And you're like, I'm sorry, what? How did this only come up now?
Right.
It's amazing what incredibly successful people do to keep their life private. And so you meet those people, and then it's just like, now that you said that, I'm going to ask you 1,000,001 questions.
Right.
Let's start now.
So you've got them right there in the
got 'em
chair.
right there. Like, it's amazing the people that you see, they're not always straightforward because they want to be a nobody.
Right.
Right? It's so valuable to just come in, sit in the chair, do your thing, and leave. But if you actually start asking the questions, they'll tell you the things.
Right.
And most people that are incredibly successful also want you to be incredibly successful. So all you got to do is ask the questions.
Yes.
And
especially when you're brand new and you're really starting out and you're hungry for knowledge and hungry for new ideas.
Yes.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, how do I book where can people book a treatment?
Yeah, so Monroe is probably our best option. Monroe can help anyone book an appointment. You can go onto our website at embrycompany.com. We also are on Instagram and Facebook with the handle at Embry Co. And then our phone number, you can text or call 231-598-8828.
And I want you to know that everything will be in the show notes. Before we wrap it up, Tiffany, is there anything that you'd like to close with?
I am just grateful for the opportunity to be here and chat with you, Rose.
Oh,
Thank
it's
you.
been a blessing. It's been my pleasure. And for those listening, Tiffany is an example of what I talk about in Charge Like a Bull. If you look at what she's done, she's got a breakthrough value proposition. She is in a very important growing market segment, being aesthetics and weight loss, which was a great idea to include that in your product line. She works with strategic alliances and she values the teaming and how that can really spread your reach to the world. She's very cognizant of her financials and that she did the membership, which really smooths out the revenue for her business as well as for her customers. They're not getting hit with that with a larger one-time charge. Just smoothing that whole revenue or that whole expense over time is good for really everyone, and the dynamic duo and the dynamic leadership. She isn't going it alone. You can obviously see that Tiffany is the face of the company, but she also has a guidance with her husband. She has her guidance with her colleagues at work. And so she's definitely leveraging the leadership. And then we heard that she leverages her clients sitting in the chair because she's got all sorts of expertise right there at her under right there with her, trusting her, and so she trusts them to give her advice. And so those are the strategies that we talk about in Charge Like a Bull. And lastly, you have been such an inspiration today, and I'd like to know if you'll join us in about a year to see how things have
I'd love
evolved.
to. I would love
Okay.
to.
Well, with that, we're going to say goodbye.